beginning, I'm going to ask you to open the packages of bookmarks that are on your table and share them up, because we're going to be using them. There's a little package and they're individual bookmarks, so I'm going to be asking you to open them. We're going to be using them in a few minutes. Officers and members of Las Viudas Dinámicas, relatives, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon to everyone, and a happy Father's Day to all fathers who are present with us this afternoon. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Las Viudas Dinámicas on the organization of this cultural activity which centers on the art of aging gracefully. So I'm going to ask a round of applause for Las Viudas Dinámicas. Aging is an accumulation of our life's experiences and changes. It is another stage of our development and one which is inevitable. We must therefore learn ways of dealing with the changes that occur during the aging process. We have all come to believe that we will all get old, sick, senile, frail, and die. But the good news is that it is not necessarily so. Aging is not synonymous with slowing down, sickness, health, and all the physical negatives. Our older years can be the time of our richest experiences, or deepest insights, or most complete individuality. We will die, of course, but today we can each take charge of our lives and live a long, healthy, exciting, and productive life. Who decides that? We make that decision for ourselves. In other words, how well we live, how well we age, are in many ways up to us. And we're going to be looking at this in detail in a few minutes. I would like for us to look at the definition of the term aging gracefully. I'm sure if I had the time to circulate from table to table, I would be getting a variety of opinions of what aging gracefully means to each and every one of you, and rightfully so. Aging gracefully, which by the way can be applied to male or female, merely means aging well. Taking pride in the aging process, enjoying the various periods of the transition. It means that the individual is taking all the steps required to be able to enjoy a healthy lifestyle. But most important, aging gracefully means acceptance of the aging process. Aging gracefully means acceptance of the aging process. We need to stop denying the aging process. For example, and I know I'm going to be mashing a lot of horns here, but if you are a sensitive person, seriously, always concealing, denying your age, then you have not accepted the aging process. Not only are you cheating on the blessings from the Almighty, you are obviously uneasy with the process of growing older. Hiding your age in the long run can be disabling to many of you. Why disabling? Because happiness eludes us when we feel embarrassed, guilty, or even shy about any part of who we are. Or years, or lines, or wrinkles, or scars, whatever they are a part of who we are. When someone asks me, hey Carm, how old are you? I can only say I'm 57. I'm going to take this opportunity now to share a prayer. This is what I'm going to ask you to look at the bookmarks that I have prepared for you. This prayer is called the Serenity Prayer. I'm sure many of you have heard about it before. It's used too in a lot of different organizations, programs, in the Alcoholics Anonymous and different programs. It's called the Serenity Prayer. I'd like for us to read it together. I guess everyone should have a bookmark. The Serenity Prayer. Let's read it together. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Let's read that again. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. The word serenity refers to peace, acceptance of the things that we cannot change. And what are these things that we cannot change? Age is one of them that we cannot change. We have to learn to accept age. Genetics, for example, is another thing that we cannot change. The aging process is something else that we cannot change. Accepting various roles in life, for example, if we go from parent to being a grandparent, that is something that we cannot change. Death is something that we cannot change. Accepting the loss of a loved one, coming to terms with our own mortality. Remember that when we talk, it's not if I die, but when I die. Okay? Then it says courage to change the things that I can. We're referring to attitudes. We can change your attitudes. You can change your lifestyle. You can change your habits. So those are a few of the examples of things that we can change, and wisdom to know that difference. Can we know if we are aging gracefully? Sure, we can know if we're aging gracefully. How? There are some physical, mental, and spiritual requirements for aging gracefully. And I'm going to mention some of these. And if you can identify yourself as following most of these requirements, then you can, with all confidence, declare that you are aging gracefully. Let's look at the physical requirements for aging gracefully, and these are just some of them. We must remain active. We must challenge our brain, learn a language, do crossword puzzles, learn to use the computer, do things. We need to keep active. They say that once we sit too long, Alzheimer's takes over. So we don't want Alzheimer's to take over. So we have to find different ways of keeping active. Staying active keeps the body strong and it improves our energy level, or mood, or balance, or flexibility, immunity, and odds against illnesses. Exercise regularly, and the word regularly is a must. It has been proven that the bodies of those individuals who do vigorous workouts are greatly stimulated to produce new brain cells. The other day we were at an excursion and we were talking about this matter of exercising, and a friend said, I can't run, I can't walk, I can't do any of these exercises, but if you pass my house in the morning and you hear the loud music, I am dancing. So every morning she dances as her exercise. And I thought that was such a good suggestion, because many of us might not want to go out there and walk or run or whatever, but we can dance. So that is something that we can think about. We need to find what makes us comfortable where exercise is concerned. And you must remember that if you have not been exercising and you would like to begin a routine, then you must consult your doctor first so that you can be confident that you are doing the correct exercise that your body requires. What are some other physical requirements for aging gracefully? We need to nurture social contacts. That means build up our friendships throughout life. And we need to seek out role models, people that we admire what they're doing, and why not imitate them. Very important, we need to eat healthy foods. Good nutrition plays an important part in the aging process. We need to eat fresh fruits and vegetables. We need to maintain a diet low in salt, low in fat. We need to stay away from the fast food places. We need protein to maintain and rebuild our muscles, calcium to strengthen our bones, fiber to accelerate waste that is exiting the body. Next week, we need to drink lots of water. I'm going to ask you to glass of water right now because we hear all the time, drink 8 glasses of water, drink 6 glasses of water, excuse me. And it's like they're always telling me water, water, water. What's important about this drinking of water? Well, it so happens that our bodies are losing water constantly through perspiration, through urine, through respiration. We need to replace the water so that we do not become dehydrated. Besides, water is essential for flushing out waste materials and replacing those needed for bodily process. And we need to drink the clean, pure water. When we talk about chicha, that's not water. Soda is not water. That's a liquid, but we need to talk about drinking pure water. There are times when you might find that you have a slight headache, and you just drink some water, you'll see that it goes away. There are times when you might find you have a pain in your rectum. If you drink a glass of water in an instant, you'll find that it goes away. Because our cells tend to be dehydrated, and just drinking that water can do so much. So I am getting into the habit, every time I leave home, I always have my little mug with water. So we need to get into the habit. I know there are lots of us that don't like to drink water, but it is very good for us. Another physical requirement is that we need to remember financial planning. As the saying goes, we need to save for a rainy day. We need to learn to relax. We need to learn to relax. When we are relaxed, we are open to different ways of looking at things. Relaxation gives us more ability to reflect on things, and it prevents us from acting impulsively. We need to accept our limitations, and by that, I'm thinking of a friend who worked back now. He retired. He was a foreman. He used to climb on top of the housetops. Maybe some of you would know my dear friend. At age almost 70, he thinks he can still climb on top of a housetop. Fell, was unconscious for so many weeks in San Fernando. We need to know what we can do and what we can't do. We need to accept our limitations. We need to be conscious of that. We have another friend who, at age 70 was out on a motorcycle, had a very bad accident on the causeway. Today he's in a wheelchair. We need to accept our limitations and know what we can do and what we can't do at a certain age. We need to love to be around children. We need to love to be around children. We need to reduce alcohol intake. We should all know by now that the constant consumption of alcoholic beverages reduces our immune system and it depletes our bodies of vitamins and minerals. We need to stop smoking. Those of us who are smoking creates a premature breakdown of your overall state of health, internally and externally. Cigarettes contain ingredients such as acetone, ammonia, arsenic, formaldehyde, and nicotine, which are chemical compounds that are considered to be quite harmful to the human body. So why are we smoking? Smoking can also slow the healing and regeneration process of the body, which could be harmful if you ever needed surgery. There is nothing actually positive about smoking. Remember to visit your doctor at least twice a year. Men, you must take your prostate exam at least once a year. Women, we must take that mammography every other year or so. Male and female, that bone density test, which is a test for osteoporosis. Is Dr. Joe Levin here? Dr. Joe Levin, are you here? Where are you? Dr. Joe Levin. I'm not going to applause for Dr. Joe Levin. She is the one that is really at the head of the bone density test here in Panama. Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. And we had this at our home last November 29th, and we're going to be doing it again at our home in Balboa this year, November 29th. We're testing for bone density to see if you have osteoporosis or not. So if you bear that date in mind, you can contact me for this coming November 29th to have your bone density test. Just cost $5. And remember, a colonoscopy should be taken every 4 to 5 years. That's the test if there are little polyps in your intestines that could develop into cancer. It's called a colonoscopy. You must have that done. Those are just some of the physical requirements. Let us look at some of the mental requirements for aging gracefully. We need to eliminate myths from our mind. You know, people think that getting old, it means that you're going to be miserable, or you're going to be ineffective, or useless, or senile, unattractive, sickly, or stubborn. That's not true. Life can be better as we age. Mental requirements, we need to read books, we need to read magazines, read periodicals that relate to the process of aging. Focus on what you still can do and what you still have. We need to be content with life. Learn to flow with changes. Learn to flow with changes. Keep learning. Keep learning. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. And I admire so many people who at age 70 are going to learn the computer. That's outstanding. That's outstanding. So we need to keep learning. We need to keep learning. Now this point, those of you who know me very well, this is the point that I love to talk about. And it says we need to eliminate the control of the toxic chemicals in your body. I'm not sure if many of you are aware, but every time we become depressed, or we become angry, or we become alterados, as we say in Spanish, or we have negative thoughts, or we just anything that's negative. There are these chemicals that are released throughout our bodies, and they accumulate. Sometimes you hear somebody say, you know, Mr. So-and-so died? Really? And looks so well. He looks so well. But Mr. So-and-so was constantly upset, complaining, negative, everything, time upset. And those toxic chemicals were just there accumulating in his body on box. One of these days, he's gone. Really? And he looks so well. This is not something that I'm making up. I've read it over and over. In fact, I even got a copy from the internet, and I want us to read it together. It's right here on the bookmark. Can you take up your bookmark? Let's read it together. It says, our thoughts and our words shape our experiences. Dr. Candice Burke discovered neuropeptides. These are chemical messengers in our brain that travel to every part of our body, touching every cell and depositing a bit of that chemical in it. They do this each time we think a thought or speak a word. So, by just thinking, we contribute to our health or to our diseases. If our thoughts are fearful, angry, or in any way negative, then the toxic chemicals that these messengers deposit depress our immune systems. I hope you're paying attention. If our thoughts are loving, optimistic, and positive, then the different neuropeptides will enhance our immune systems. Poisonous thoughts poison our bodies. Negative thinking is making us sick and it is killing us. Those of you who have computers, you can go into this website and read up more. In Spanish they say tenemos que cuidarnos de salud. We have to take care of our health. The problems are going to come, but we find solutions. We find solutions. Every problem in life has a solution. Worrying about it is not a solution. If you have a problem and you don't have a solution for it, there's no sense you worry about it because there's nothing that you can do. And I'd like to bring the example of the Iraq War. At our level here, there is nothing that we can do to stop the Iraq War. So if you're going to make the Iraq War make you sick, and I'm not saying that we're not concerned. Don't get me wrong, don't misunderstand. I'm not saying that we're not concerned about the lives that are lost. But what I'm saying is don't take it in. Don't take it in to the state that you are going to become ill. Tenemos que cuidarnos de salud. Sonia, I'm always talking to you, Sonia, about the toxic chemicals, right? Tenemos que cuidarnos de salud. We cannot afford to be getting upset, losing our tempers, quarreling with the children, quarreling with the neighbors, yelling and screaming, because in the long run, you are going to feel it. Believe me. Okay, I think I've said enough on that. Spiritual requirements for aging gracefully. We need to develop the attitude of gratitude. There's some of us who are so busy adding up our problems that we forget to count our blessings. We need to thank God in prayer for blessings, reading the Bible daily. The Bible tells us in all things we should give thanks. Ephesians 5:20 says, giving thanks always for all things unto God and the Father in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Spiritual requirements, let us always learn to express love. Tell your children, your grandchildren, your mom, your dad, that you love them. We need to love animals, we need to love children, older persons, family members, and most important, we need to love ourselves. We need to love ourselves. Tears will happen, of course, tears will come, but we will endure, we will grieve, and we move on. We need to have confidence, and we need to have faith. They are necessary to accomplish our goals. The process of aging will involve not just one, but several factors. Good nutrition, exercising, mental stimulation, good health care, and learning to live well in spite of our illnesses. Can a person who is ill age gracefully? Can a person who is ill age gracefully? Of course. Of course. I don't know if many of you know that Billy Graham's wife passed away last week. But in an interview that he had in April, when he was talking about his wife who's been written, this is what he said. Reverend Billy Graham. He said, one of the joys of growing older is the opportunity for us to spend more time together. He's referring to he and his wife. Sometimes we'll just sit for hours, holding hands and talking or watching a video, or even just enjoying each other's company in silence. After a lifetime of travel and being apart so much, we treasure this stage of our lives. We treasure this stage of our lives. We need to enjoy the transition. We need to enjoy each stage of our life. I'm almost ready to conclude, but before concluding, I wanted to bring on stage one male who I feel is aging gracefully, one female who I feel is aging gracefully, and a couple who I think is aging gracefully. And I'm going to start out with the person who is closest to me, my father-in-law, who is 91 years old, and I'm going to ask my sister-in-law to bring him up here. All of you know Mr. Gobern, my father-in-law, 91, on the street every day, and he exercises and he does everything.
Yes, we were 90.
He's 90. He's 90. Come, Daddy, we want to show you off because you are a very good example of someone who is aging gracefully. He could have 100 children around him. He does not get upset. There's some people who children annoy them. That should not be. Okay, he's reminding me that he's 19. Daddy is super, super. At 91, I just can't get over it. His memory is better than my memory, and I'm not lying to you. He knows and he remembers everyone. Give me a round of applause for my father-in-law. Okay, there's a female that goes to my church, and I'm going to invite her. She doesn't know that I'm doing this, but it's Lucille Cumberbatch, 82 years old. I know Mrs. Cumberbatch for years, and she has not changed. She has not aged, and it's because she lets nothing bother her. That's something else that we have to be conscious of. Don't let things bother us. Remember that song? Don't worry, be happy. That's Mrs. Cumberbatch. She lets nothing bother her. Where are you, Mrs. Cumberbatch? Let's have a round of applause for Mrs. Cumberbatch, 82 years old, aging gracefully. For the fashion show. Okay, Daddy has a message. Daddy has a message.
My message is simple is that God is first. Everybody who knows me for so many years, look, I don't know you yesterday, not today. Tell me what is the secret? God.
Thank you, Daddy. There's a couple of very good friends of mine sitting across from Clarence and Barbara Gordon. Please come up, because I think you are a good role model of a couple who are together, aging gracefully. Let's give them a round of applause. And see you. Living in Gamboa, but they are at every program, and they are supportive to every community in the activity. Clarence is a retired firefighter, keeps active, is a Cyber subscriber, and we just congratulate the couple who are aging gracefully. So let's just give them a round of applause.
I just want to say that we're not far from making 47 years married.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you very much. To conclude, I trust that if we recognize the need to make a change in our lifestyle, that we will take the steps immediately. It is never too late to make a change. To be successful at aging gracefully, we must start to prepare at an early age. The earlier, the better. It's not easy, all these requirements that I've mentioned here. I know I'm rolling them off, but I know they're not easy. But if we just make a step and we make an effort and we try, they're certainly not impossible to accomplish. So, I'd just like to remind you in closing that the happier you are in life, the less physical disabilities you will have. I'm going to repeat that. The happier you are in life, the less physical disabilities you will have. Happy aging. Thank you.
Aging gracefully.